Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jenny and I'm a foreigner living here in China. So on today's vlog, I'm going to be sharing the culture shock for me about the China and Nigerian educational system. The first one is the resumption. When China says you're resuming on this particular date, if they say it's March 1st, you are resuming that day. Everyone has to resume because you have the teacher to teach you, and if you as a student you miss that class for twice or three times, you might not be able to take the midterm exam, and you're going to have like normal lectures. Even if you had to have two lectures in that day, you will have them, and you might even have assignments. Like you would have assignments or even projects. But in Nigeria, this opposite. Lecturer cannot say that you're resuming today, and school cannot say you're resuming today, and then you find lecturer in class. Of course, it's not true. So that was like, I was like, so that would make me sure, like, really? Are we doing this? Yeah. So another thing was the part where we had to write two exams. I'm like, who does this? So I have to write two exams there in China. In one semester, I have to write midterm exam and final term exam. Fine, I understand test. But which one is midterm exam again? I'm not sure the time I spent in Nigeria university. I'm not sure I experienced anything like midterm exam. I only know that we have to write test, and then after test exam. Okay, everyone understand this. But in China, the case is different. You have tests, you have midterm exam, and then you have final term exam. So because in a semester we have 17 weeks. So what we study from maybe week 1 to probably week 11 or 10, we are going to do an exam for that. Although not all courses, but majority of the courses you have to do an exam for that. And so from 12th week down to 17th week, then you're going to do another exam for that. So that one is what we call the final term exam. Yeah, and the midterm exam has about 30%, and final term exam can be that 70 or 80 depending on the course grades. And that midterm and final term exam it's very compulsory from level 1 to when you get to level 3. The course coordinators may say, okay, no need for final term exams. Yeah, so and no need for midterm exams, but you have to do final term exams. Yeah, so if you have to do final term exams without the midterm exams, it's going to be so like crazy, and you have to do more study because you have to read every note from week 1 to week 17. Oh my god. Yeah, so that one was another shock for me. And also another thing is the teacher student relationship here in China. Like, I know in Nigeria I don't have any right to tell my teacher to help me close the door. I'm in the class and I cannot tell my teacher to close the door, or I cannot tell my teacher, please help me to turn on the AC. I'm sorry, I'm using teacher. I know in Nigeria we use professor or lecturer, but here we literally call them teachers in their language because in Chinese it's Lao Shi. So Lao Shi in English translation is literally teacher. So it's only for some of them we call them professor, though most of them are professors, but we just call them teachers. Everyone is Laoshi, so which is literally teacher. So we seldomly use lecturers or professors. Yeah, but I don't know more for the masters level. I don't know. Yeah. So back to the topic. But here in China, the case is different. The first time I experienced this was very funny. That was my first year, and the weather was cold. So one of my classmates told the teacher, "Teacher, please, could you help us turn on the AC?" She was like, "Oh yes, I can help you." I'm like, and next thing I said, another one was like, "Teacher, please, could you help us close the door?" And the teacher really did close the door. I was like, oh my god, you cannot try this in Nigeria. No, you are gone. So that teacher student relationship is really nice, is really one thing. So you can communicate with your teacher, you can, especially teachers that are more easy to relate with, you can communicate with them. In fact, not even teachers that are more easy to relate with, even teachers in the head office. Like we have teachers in the office that are admission officers and teachers counselor. You can relate to them, gist with them, talk with them, as long that you are not a shy person. If you're shy, somebody like me, maybe you might not be able to do it. For if you are someone that you can talk to them, they are free, discuss anything with them. They will chat with you. You can even say, teacher, we heard this news. Why is this like this? Or you can even, those kind of things. Like that relation is really nice. Yeah. And another thing is exam preparation. You know, when we it's not like they give us like this cheat code. The school does not permit them to give us like not cheat code, like school does not permit them to tell us the answers, or to tell us the questions that's going to come out in the exam. But this is one thing they usually do when they are explaining during each lecture. So when they're explaining during each lectures, they will literally tell you, okay, focus on this, you're gonna find it in the exam. Focus on this and you will find it in the, and obviously you're gonna find it in the exam. Yes, you will definitely find it in the exam. I remember the exam I wrote last week, my midterm exam for medical Chinese. The teacher literally told us, okay, she gave us like a picture. She explained to us the picture. The picture was like something about liver, and it's in Chinese, so we have to learn the characters and everything. She told us that we should take photo of that picture, like, and we should go study it, that we're going to find it in the midterm exam. And then she told us something else. In fact, she literally came to class that day and was asking us questions that were going to come out in the exam. Like that day was Thursday and we're going to write the exam on Monday. She literally told us, came to class on that Thursday and was asking us questions that were going to come out in this thing. So she was like, okay guys, she would literally tell you, this is what you're going to see in the exam, and definitely you're going to see it. Although sometimes you might not see, they may not give you everything, but if you pay attention to what they say, you will find it in the exam. You definitely find it in the exam. So that one is something. And also another one is the part where they say open book exam. Open book exam in Nigeria is another thing. You cannot do open book exam and then your teacher cannot say you should bring the textbooks to exam and you find the answers. Never. But here in China it's really different. Although they said for Chinese students it's totally something else, that they don't find the answers when the teacher tells them it's open exam. But for we foreign students it's really a different thing. When our teacher said to us that we are going to have an open book exam, see, you will find the answer in the book as long as you read the book and you know what you want to do. At least you shall study it before you come to the exam. Or see, if you study the book and then you bring the book to the exam, or you're going to find the answers in the book. In fact, you're going to find it. It can be tricky at times, but you will definitely find the answers in the book. So it's not like, teacher, we cannot find the answers to this question in the book. No, come with everything. In fact, we print our slides and everything, but we will find we'll find the answer. See, you will find the answer, except if you don't study it and you relax. No, you might like take you time to find the answer. But if you study ahead before coming and then you bring the book, you find the answer. So okay, yeah. And another thing is another big difference is I think the part where we have breaks in between classes. I remember the first time I had my first lecture here in China, back then in 2023, and then after the lecture was supposed to be for about maybe 2 hours. I can't really remember. I just noticed that when we started the class, I can't remember, maybe from maybe I don't know, maybe 8 for something, I don't know which hour, but when it was 9:40, the bell, like there's a bell, the bell rang and the teacher said, okay guys, go and relax, take a walk. If you want to use the toilet, go to the toilet. If you want to drink water, everything. I was like, what are we doing this for? They said we have to take 10 minutes break before we continue the class. So like, oh my god, really, this is nice. Yeah, so I was like, wow. And in fact, the aspect that they have bell, this bell rings every time when it's time for lecture, when it's time for breaks, and when lecture ends, this bell rings every time. So there's no fact that, okay, lecturer, you're going over time, like now the class has ended, lecturer, let us go home now. When the bell rings, the students already packing their books and their bags. They don't need the lecturer. The lecturer self does not need anyone to tell him to stop teaching or explain whatever he's doing, because we won't listen again. So yeah, that was another one, like that 10 minutes break. So imagine you have 3 hours class, you're going to enjoy 20 minutes break, with like 10 minutes and then 10 minutes. So like there's this break. It's really interesting. Yeah. And I think the final one will just be Like I don't know what would be the final one. Okay. So the final one would just be like the fact whether we don't have textbook as foreign students. Mm-mm. Those that are excluded from this situation are students that are foreign students who are studying Chinese, but foreign students who are studying English. Or for some of us like us, some people like us, we don't have textbooks. Even if we have textbooks, maybe just one or two. Most of our slides and everything are on the school system. So we just log into the school system, input our student ID, our name, and then all the courses we are taking, we find it there. So we literally don't have textbooks. Even when teacher tells us to buy textbook, we don't buy textbooks because what do we want to use it to do? Just put it on the slides. Just put it on our school e-system, and we're going to find it there, and we'll study for exam. In fact, when we have open book exam, we just have to go print everything from there. In fact, if I tell you I still only have textbook, the only textbook I know I've had from level 1 to level 4 is maybe Chinese, just Chinese textbook. Anything aside that, and maybe biochemistry. Yeah, the teacher made it compulsory for us to get biochemistry. Yeah, just that. I have that. But compared to my friend who is studying Chinese, she has a lot of textbooks. If you go to her room, the textbooks, because it's compulsory for them to buy textbooks. So we know our shelves is not for textbook. Instead, we put something else on our own study shelves. So yeah, that's one of the those are the big difference between China and Nigerian educational system. Yeah, and that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next.